A year after the events of the previous games, a boy named Roxas is enjoying his summer vacation with his friends when something gets stolen, including the word. Roxas and his friends split up to look for it before Roxas finds himself attacked by weird creatures and summons the Keyblade, taking him to dive into the heart like Sora had before. For 5 days, Roxas keeps finding himself meeting people he can't remember and being stuck in frozen time, missing plans with his friends and all sorts of other things, until time completely freezes on the 6th day. He makes his way to the haunted mansion outside of his hometown and finds a hidden basement where he destroys a computer and remembers his friend Axel, who is now trying to kill him. Roxas summons 2 Keyblades to defeat him, discovering Naminé and the pod that Sora has been asleep in. Roxas's summer vacation is over. Sora wakes up in a place called Twilight Town, meeting King Mickey at the train station. He tells them to find Yensid using a special train. Outside of the mysterious tower, Sora meets Pete, a henchman of Maleficent's. Sora, Donald and Goofy all laugh when he mentions her. Yensid is Mickey's teacher and explains everything to Sora before sending him to meet Flora, Fauna and Merryweather. The 3 fairies give him a new outfit with special powers before sending him on his way. After Sora, Donald and Goofy leave, Maleficent's cloak is found on the floor of the tower and she is revived by the fairies remembering her. Meanwhile, Sora lands in Hollow Bastion. It's not like before and has become a small town where Yuffie, Sid, Leon and Aerith are working with Merlin to restore the world to what it once was. They're about to explain what's happened in the last year when a loud sound comes from the Bailey area. Leon helps Sora to defend the Bailey gates and protect the town, but 8 hooded figures appear and taunt Sora, who has no idea who they are. They call themselves Organisation XIII before disappearing. The trio finds themselves fighting an enemy they don't understand or remember, looking for objects that will unlock the way to new worlds and old ones to help save them. The object in Hollow Bastion unlocks the way to the Land of Dragons and Beast's Castle, where Sora reunites with Mushu and Beast respectively. In the Land of Dragons, Sora helps Mulan, who is disguised as a man named Ping, to stop the Hun army and their leader Shan Yu. Mulan's quick thinking saves the Chinese army, but leads to her expulsion from it, only for Sora and her to defeat Shan Yu at the palace gates and the Emperor to pardon Mulan. In Beast's castle, Sora discovers that there's an issue with Beast. Talking to Belle, he finds out that the servants have been locked away and the servants explain that someone came to the castle and has done something to Beast. Sora goes to calm Beast down using Lumiere, Mrs. Potts and Cogsworth to help. Beast explains that a man named Zaldin has been to see him, to tell him that nobody could ever love him. Zaldin reveals himself and sends a large Heartless to stop Sora, but Sora and Beast work together to defeat it. Sora then returns to Olympus Coliseum, but gets lost along the way. He meets Megara, who sends him to Hades. On the way, another member of the organisation happens to run past him. Hades says that he won't give Hercules a break and Sora goes to see him at the Colosseum. Hades kidnaps Meg in a plan to use the Keyblade and sends a nasty monster to fight Hercules so Sora never finds out what Hades is trying to do. Sora unlocks something to rescue Meg, and they meet Pete again. He's been behind the whole thing. Hercules comes to help when they get back to the Colosseum. It has been destroyed by the Hydra, which Sora takes care of with the help of Phil, Meg and Pegasus. Sora then finally visits Disney Castle, where something is wrong. There are Heartless everywhere. Sora goes to protect Queen Minnie as they make their way to the throne room, where they discover thorns growing in the hall of the cornerstone below. They head off to find Merlin, who brings them back and creates a door to the past. Through the door is the Timeless River, where Sora gets to see glimpses of Mickey and Pete before this story even began. Current Pete had his own door and was using it to help Maleficent take over Disney Castle. Using past Pete and Mickey's help, they defeat current Pete and restore the castle. The next stop on the list is Port Royal, where Sora finds Pete working with the pirate boss Barbossa. Barbossa and his crew kidnap Elizabeth the Swan, and Sora, along with Will Turner and Captain Jack Sparrow, go after them. Barbossa and his crew kidnap Elizabeth the Swan, and Sora, along with Will Turner and Captain Jack Sparrow, go after them. Barbossa and his crew kidnap Elizabeth the Swan, and Sora, along with Will Turner and Captain Jack Sparrow, go after them. The issue is that the pirates are cursed by Aztec gold. After sailing back and forth a few times, saving Elizabeth, then losing Will to Barbossa, they return to Isla de Muerta to rescue him and face off against Barbossa. Jack curses himself during the fight, just to end the curse as he kills Barbossa. Then they return to Agrabah and reunite with Aladdin, who is in search of information about Jafar's lamp. To get it, they have to go to the Cave of Wonders, which looks completely different, to get treasure for a peddler. Inside, they need to go through several challenges to even get access to the treasure, each one issuing Heartless to defeat. When they get back to Agrabah, they find Pete with Jafar's lamp. He wants to bring Jafar back to help him and Maleficent, summoning the Volcanic and Blizzard Lords to stop Sora and Aladdin. He fails, and Aladdin and Jasmine lock the lamp away in the palace dungeon. Sora then returns to Halloween Town, where everything is decorated for Christmas. Jack Skellington and Sora visit Santa in Christmas Town, returning just as Maleficent restores Oogie Boogie. She summons a Heartless to use Lock, Shock and Barrel to power it to slow Sora and Jack down while they kidnap Santa. Oogie has renovated the warehouse in Christmas Town by the time that Sora returns, leading to another fight with Oogie Boogie, saving Santa and thwarting another one of Maleficent's plans. Next is the Pride Lands, where Sora finds the area run by hyenas. The lionesses at Pride Rock tell him that the rightful king Simba is dead, and he tells them that's not true before Scar and Pete appear and threaten him. Sora and Nala leave and make their way to the jungle, where they find Simba, Timon and Pumbaa. The group returns to stop the hyenas, and Simba chases after Scar while Sora defends Timon and Pumbaa before helping Simba defeat Scar. Like Clayton before him, he has become a Heartless already, and Sora must defeat him. Twilight Town has reappeared to Sora now, and he flies there, only to discover that Kairi had been there and already disappeared through Haina, Pence and Olette, his new friends. They meet Syx of the Organisation and defeat his nobodies before returning to Hollow Bastion. This time, they're told to go and find Leon in Ansem's study, meeting Cloud again along the way. Inside, they meet Leon, who opens the door to a secret computer room. Sora messes with the computer and is taken inside. In Space Paranoids, Sora is locked in prison with a man named Tron. Together, they unlock the door and escape, powering up the energy core before Sora leaves to get the password to the data space. Here, they meet Tifa, who's looking for Cloud, and King Mickey shows up to explain that the Ansem Sora had defeated before was actually a man named Xehanort, who had stolen the identity of the real Ansem, who is still alive. They figure out the password and return to the pit cell, where Sora must rescue Tron in the Light Cycle game before using the monitors to the datascape, allowing them to go to the IO Tower so Tron can download powers to help control the defense system in Hollow Bastion. The MCP, the program in control of Space Paranoids, sends a hostile program to stop Tron, which is quickly dispatched now that Tron has his new powers. Sora returns to Hollow Bastion right as a huge fight is about to start between the Heartless and the Nobodies. An explosion has destroyed the wall around the town, and everyone needs to rally to help. Mickey tries to send Sora away, but Donald and Goofy carry on, pulling Sora with them. They finally face off against one of the Organisation members, Demyx. He has power over water and tries to stop Sora, failing and ending up fading away. Goofy is then hit in the head by a boulder, causing Mickey, Donald and Sora to fly into a rage and fight down the ravine, getting help from the Final Fantasy characters until they find a spot to rest. Goofy catches up, having only been knocked out. Beyond their rest spot, Sora meets the leader of Organisation XIII, Xemnas. He summons a huge amount of Heartless, cutting everyone off from each other and causing the battle of 1,000 Heartless. After chasing Xemnas to a cliff, Syx appears and explains the Organisation's plans. Sora has been helping them without realising, releasing hearts to build Kingdom Hearts for Xemnas. Maleficent steps in and sends them into a dark corridor, where they meet someone with a box containing an ice cream and a photo of Haina, Pence, Olette and Roxas. Sora returns to each world in search of the organisation's hideout. In the Land of Dragons, Sora discovers a mysterious man who Sora is convinced is Riku. They chase him to the palace to ask the Emperor, only to be attacked by a huge Heartless and meet Xigbar of the organisation. In Beast's castle, Beast asks for help protecting his rose. Zul'Din is trying to steal it. He manages to steal both the rose and kidnap Belle, who manages to save both, leading to Zul'Din trying to stop Sora himself and fading away for it. In Olympus Coliseum, Sora must take part in the Hades Cup, the first official tournament in the Underdrome, the new Coliseum. Hades has created a doll of the Guardian Auron to use him to kill Hercules. Sora fights his way to Hades' throne and is attacked by nobodies, only to be rescued by Heartless. They use the doll to save Auron, leading to Hades throwing Meg into the River of Souls and Hercules following after her, helping Sora to defeat Hades again when he gets back. In Port Royal, the Aztec curse is back somehow. In a search for the source, Sora meets Luxord of the organisation. He has a Grim Reaper Heartless that has used the curse. Luxord steals some medallions and gives them to nobodies before causing the ship to crash in Isla de Muerta. Sora collects the medallions and faces off against the Grim Reaper in Port Royal before sending the chest to the bottom of the ocean. In Agrabah, Sora arrives to find that the peddler had earned a lot of treasure from a man in a black coat. Iago says he's seen Jafar in an ancient ruin, but there's a sandstorm. Genie comes back from a vacation, removing the sandstorm, and Sora uses magic carpet to fly into the ruins to follow Jafar's ghost and open the tower at the back with some magical switches. It's a trap set by Jafar using Iago as bait. They escape the sinking ruins and find Genie Jafar destroying Agrabah. Sora defeats him once more. In Halloween Town, someone has been stealing presents, leading Sora and Jack on an investigation. They interrogate Locke, Shock and Barrel, who send them back to Halloween Town, where Heartless have a present. Sora helps Santa to make some decoy presents to lure the culprit to a blocked-off square. It's one of Dr. Finkelstein's experiments, leading to Sora dismantling it. In the Pride Lands, Sora finds out that Simba has done nothing and the ghost of Scar has been appearing all over the place. He heads to the elephant graveyard where the hyenas tell him the same thing. Simba has fled back to the jungle. Sora goes to speak to him, then Donald uses his magic to create a ghost of Scar, leading to Simba deciding to fight back. The ghosts all come together to create a huge Heartless. Back in Hollow Bastion, the defense program has gone crazy and Sora makes his way back to Space Paranoids. Here, he teams up with Tron to use the Solar Sailor to get to the central computer Mesa. Sid is hard at work creating a program to stop the MCP, which Aerith runs to the castle. Inside the central computer, Sora and Tron face off against Master Stark and the MCP. Once defeated, Tron sacrifices himself just as Aerith gives the computer the program. It installs Tron as the new MCP, and he reveals the true name of Hollow Bastion: Radiant Garden. There's one place left to look: Twilight Town. It's filled with nobodies, and Sora fights his way to the mansion where he finds Haina, Pence and Olette. Mickey joins them as nobodies attack, and they all make their way to the basement to find the computer. They use the password to log in, and Sora, Donald, Goofy and Mickey enter Data Twilight Town to find a corridor of darkness to enter the organization's stronghold. Inside the corridor, Axel is waiting. He chooses to help Sora fight the nobodies inside, using all of his energy to do so, fading away after telling them where to go to get to the world that never was. It's an empty and dark city with a huge castle in the middle. Fighting through the city, Sora is stopped by someone in a black coat and is taken to dive into the heart to face off against Roxas. Sora wins, and Roxas meets Axel one last time before disappearing into Sora. The team then makes their way into the castle with help from Kairi and Naminé. Inside, the organisation is defending itself in full force. Saïx summons Heartless to take Sora down, inadvertently attacking Kairi, who is saved by Riku, who looks like Ansem. Then Xigbar attacks Sora, fading away after losing. Kairi and Riku meet up with Sora in an emotional reunion before they catch up with Mickey, who's with the real Ansem. He's trying to turn Kingdom Hearts into data, but his machine explodes, dispelling the darkness surrounding Riku and destroying Ansem in the blast. Further up the castle, Sora meets Luxord again, playing a card game to rescue his friends from the Nobody. Right afterwards, Sora fights with Saïx, who uses the power of Kingdom Hearts to go into a berserk state to try to defeat Sora. He also fades at the end. The group carries on, until the Heartless manage to climb the castle to try and take over. Maleficent steps in once more to make sure that Sora can clear the organisation from the castle. Xemnas attacks Sora right away, taking him somewhere else for the battle, before he creates the door to Kingdom Hearts. Sora takes Xemnas down inside the door before Xemnas attacks again, leaving Sora and Riku to defeat him once and for all inside a corridor of darkness. The pair find themselves at a beach in the world of darkness before a message in a bottle from Kairi opens the way for them to get back to the light. They crash into the ocean on Destiny Islands before reuniting with their friends finally.